AMC stock is up over 5% today, the Nasdaq up 1.3%, the S&P and the Dow Jones Industrial Averages are up about 1.5%, obviously give or take by the time you guys see this video. Now, we're going to talk about everything you need to know about AMC and really the main thing that is going to be happening today and why this video is titled The Moment of Truth. It's all down to Netflix earnings. So guys, let's get straight into this video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. If you guys have not already, thank you for tuning in, and let's get straight into it. So first things first, today is really just a continuation rally from yesterday, because as you guys know, yesterday was the best day, I believe they said, since July for specifically the Nasdaq, but as well for the S&P 500. It was a very very positive day overall. And really why that is, it comes down to the UK and them really doing away with that tax cut that they were going to do, meaning that the markets are saying, hey, we're going to see hopefully less inflation in the UK around the world, and specifically people are not going to have to raise rates as aggressively, because this rally or crash in the markets, it really comes down to two things and two things only: the Federal Reserve and earnings. And that's why I say this is really the moment of truth, because Netflix is typically, the first to report and the first to really set the trajectory for the rest of the markets. If Netflix comes out and has a really bad earnings report, well, that's not going to be a good thing for the markets. The markets are really going to hate that, and they're going to hate earnings for other companies as well. They're going to look to Netflix as like the bellwether for the rest of technology, and technology really does rule this stock market. So if Netflix earnings are good, well, that's going to be very good for the markets. Short squeeze still in play at that point. If you do see Netflix just get absolutely destroyed again like they did throughout 2021 so far, or 2022 so far, well, that's not going to be such a good thing for this earnings season. But like I said in the last night's video that did come out, you got a lot of institutional investors that are betting that this earnings season is going to be bullish and that we are going through a bear market bounce. So besides that, you do have the markets that are pricing in a 75 basis point rate hike at the November 2nd meeting, and you also have the aspect of the Fed in this rally. The markets, yeah, they're expecting another 75 basis point rate hike, but in December, it's almost 50-50 between a 50 basis point rate hike and a 75 basis point rate hike. Right now, it looks like the 75 basis point rate hike is the one that is leading the way. It's 61.5% chance, but you do have 50 basis points right there at 38%. And heading into midterms, and historically after midterms, and really just the end of the year for the stock market in general, tends to be very seasonably bullish. So if we do get good earnings right now in this earnings season, starting with Netflix, obviously, then it's going to be off to the races, and you're definitely going to want to be long on equities. You're going to hope that you bought the dip throughout 2022. Now, nonetheless, what we have in store for tomorrow's economic data, really not too much, but you do have the inflation rate year over year for Canada. Not quite sure how much that is going to move our markets. I doubt it's going to be a big factor, but it is highlighted in red, expected to be a major volatility catalyst. And you do have housing starts for September, building permits for September as well. That will also be important, because real estate, believe it or not, is the largest asset class in the world. Everyone wants to own a home, if not does own a home. Over 65% of American families are homeowners anyways. So, to see values going up or down, the housing starts, how many new houses are being built, that will be important, because it will play into prices of houses. Now, at 1 p.m. tomorrow, you have Fed Kashkari that does speak. At 6:30 p.m., you have Fed Evans that speaks. And 7:30 p.m. you have Fed Bullard that speaks, and these guys will be important because these are all voting members of the Fed. And After we hear from Netflix and we see the markets either go up or go down a lot, it's going to be important to see, how are the Fed speakers talking? Are they talking like there's going to be a smaller rate hike in December? Are they talking like, potentially they should just pivot overall and go back down to 25 basis points and do that slow and steady? Those key details will be the thing that really could solidify if this has been the low of 2022 or not, or if we have a lot more room to fall. And then on Thursday, all you really have is existing home sales for September, and then you do have the initial jobless claims and the Philadelphia Fed. All of that comes out at 8:30 in the morning. Besides existing home sales, that does come out at 10 a.m. in the morning. On Friday, you really don't have anything for economic data. You do have at 9:10 a.m. you have Fed Williams that does speak on Friday, though. So some Fed speakers throughout the rest of this week, a couple small data points, but really the main story, like I said, is going to be earnings. And like we talked about in the last video, there's a lot of bullish positioning heading into this earnings season. Some massive trades hedge funds are putting on, really skewed to the upside. And if we do get good earnings, then you're going to see a market-wide short squeeze, because hedge funds don't really have that much exposure to upside in stocks, right? If the stock market starts to rally, hedge funds are really not going to be a part of it, and that's something they do not want to do. AMC, I think, would have a larger short squeeze than the broad markets because the high short interest and the community that does back AMC. Now, the estimated short interest of free float is sitting at 19.06%. The free float out on loan sitting at 35.69%. The short interest value in dollars is sitting at $624.81 million. The shares out on loan at 183.91 million. And you do have days to cover at 4.59 and cost to borrow at 19.56%, and you do have a 100% share utilization. Now, also, we got to look at the option activity. We have 50 orders for the day, totaling about $5 million, a positive order value of 52%. And anything over 50% is going to be very, very good. And we are yet again still above that. Now, on a technical basis, a lot of people have called out the 200-week moving average, not the 200-day, the 200-week moving average, a long-term moving average. This tends to be a major level of support for the markets whenever we go through a downturn, and we have also hit the Fibonacci 50% retracement level, which also does tend to be a very strong support level as well. And what happened? We bounced off the 200-week moving average. So really, if earnings are good, things are going to the moon. If they're not, well, you could break the 200-day moving average in a very, very big way, because the markets right now with a 4-year, 10-year bond, they're pricing in a lot of the Fed rate hikes already. They're actually overpricing in Fed rate hikes. They're expecting, larger rate hikes to come. We're already factoring that in, but what we're not factoring in is earnings just completely crumbling. So it really depends, like I said, the course of earnings and what these companies have to say as far as guidance. One thing I will say to really wrap off this video is that Netflix doesn't have very high expectations. They are expected to grow subscribers by about 1 million. If they don't get to that, if that's not, possible, it's not going to be a good thing. If they can exceed that, possibly in a big way, well, that is going to be really, really big. Nonetheless, that's going to be it for this video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. And if you guys want access to all of the trades that I've been making, earnings season is the time to really make some of those earnings trades and really implement a lot of your strategies. If you guys want to be a part of that with us, link down below in the description of this video, and get free stocks with Webull, Moomoo, and Public as well. Link down below in the description. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.